Ready to dive into a world where the sun's just a red blur behind ash.
Sounds kind of bleak.
That's the final empire from Brandon Sanderson's book for you.
Ah, right. The final empire.
Hmm.
So, what are we focusing on in this deep dive?
Well, we're going to explore what makes this world so gripping.
I've got my notes and highlights ready.
Perfect. Let's talk about what makes the final empire tick.
Well, for starters, it's been shaped by 1,000 years of oppression, all thanks to the Lord Ruler.
Right, the Lord Ruler claims he's protecting everyone from some unseen terror hiding in the mists, but
But his protection comes at a steep price.
Exactly. It's a world of extremes. You've got the Skaa, essentially slaves, working themselves to the bone.
And then there's the nobility, living it up while the Skaa suffer.
Yeah, rigid hierarchy. But even in this system, you see cracks. Like when we meet Kelsier.
Oh, Kelsier, a Skaa misting who escaped the pits of Hathsin.
And he's all about bringing the whole system down.
Understandably so, after what he went through. Sanderson doesn't hold back on showing how brutal this world can be.
Absolutely. The pits of Hathsin, that's not just some side detail. It shows just how far the Lord Ruler will go to keep control.
Exactly, and that's what fuels Kelsier's rage. Makes him determined to start a rebellion.
And then you throw Allomancy into the mix, this crazy magic system, it adds a whole other level of complexity.
Right, for anyone who hasn't read the book, Allomancers basically eat and burn metals. And burning these metals gives them different powers.
Like if you burn pewter, you get super strength and speed.
And tin makes your senses go into overdrive. But it's not just about physical power, is it?
Nope, not at all. It can be about manipulating emotions, messing with minds,
Even warping reality itself in some cases.
Exactly. And remember, Kelsier's a Mistborn.
Meaning he can burn all the metals. That makes him incredibly powerful and really dangerous.
How do you even fight someone like that? Especially when they're leading a rebellion.
Good question. Then you've got the Inquisitors on the other side. The Lord Ruler's enforcers.
Oh yeah, those guys. Terrifying. Allomancers with steel spikes through their eyes. Can you imagine?
Sanderson really captures how chilling their presence is.
Definitely. They're like the boogeymen of the final empire, always lurking, reminding everyone who's really in charge.
Their existence makes you think about power in this world. Are they just the Lord Ruler's puppets?
Or do they have their own motives, their own secrets?
It adds to the whole feeling of dread, not knowing the answers. You also had some interesting notes about the obligators.
Oh yeah, the obligators. Those bald guys with tattoos, right? Bureaucrats and enforcers all in one.
It's like even in the everyday stuff, the Lord Ruler's control is everywhere. You can't escape it.
They're the embodiment of the system, making sure everything runs the way the Lord Ruler wants.
Maybe not as flashy as the Inquisitors, but just as important for his control.
So let's talk about Kelsier's plan. Pretty audacious, right?
Oh, absolutely. He wants to take down the Lord Ruler by messing with the economy, causing riots.
And stealing all the asium, that rare metal that gives some crazy allomantic powers.
It's a huge gamble, with so many things that could go wrong. But what's interesting is Kelsier's not just about brute force.
He's using his allomancy, his understanding of how society works.
He's manipulating everything to turn the system against itself.
Like a chess grandmaster, always thinking several moves ahead. And then there's Vin, a young Skaa who discovers she's a Mistborn.
And Kelsier takes her under his wing, training her, preparing her for this whole rebellion.
She goes from this distrustful street kid to a powerful allomancer. It's a real journey.
Given her past, you can't blame her for not trusting anyone. But she also embodies hope for the Skaa.
Definitely. Proof that even in a world like this, things can change.
But can she overcome her own struggles and embrace her role in this rebellion?
That's the big question. And then you throw in her relationship with Elend Venture, this young nobleman.
Oh yeah, Elend. He's different from the other nobles, challenging how things are. It creates some really interesting dynamics.
What did you think about Elend? Do you think he truly wants change, or is he naive?
That's a great question. We'll definitely have to dig into that more. And we can't forget about the mysteries Sanderson throws in. Like, the 11th metal.
Oh, right, the 11th metal. What is it? Why is it so dangerous?
I found that passage where Vin first burns it really interesting. It's clearly going to be important, but we don't know how yet.
And then there's that deepness the Lord Ruler keeps talking about. This looming threat, this terror.
Is he telling the truth, or is it just another way to control everyone?
And those creatures that come out of the mists every night, what's their connection to allomancy?
Are they natural? Or are they somehow connected to what the Lord Ruler is doing?
So many questions. It's part of what makes this world so captivating.
You're always trying to figure things out, predict what's next. But just when you think you've got it.
Sanderson throws in another twist, another layer, and you have to question everything again.
Exactly. And this is just the beginning of our journey through the final empire.
There's still so much to uncover. We'll dig deeper into Kelsier's plan, Vin's incredible transformation.
And all those shocking truths hiding beneath the surface of this world. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Last time we were exploring the world of the final empire, the Lord Ruler's oppression, Kelsier's rebellion brewing, and all those mysteries around Allomancy.
Lots to unpack there.
Definitely. And you had some really interesting points about how Kelsier uses the existing social structure to his advantage.
Oh, yeah, that's fascinating, isn't it? It's not just about toppling the Lord Ruler for Kelsier. He wants to tear down the whole system.
So how does he do that?
Well, he has to understand how power works in the final empire.
Yeah.
Like he manipulates that whole house war thing.
Yeah, the house war, turning the nobility against each other.
Exactly. And he even uses Vin's position as Lady Valette to play this dangerous game.
It's like that house war is a powder peg just waiting to go off. And Kelsier's the one with the match.
You make a good point. There's that part where Kelsier compares himself to a Skaa playing a nobleman's game, using their rules against them. It makes you think, is it ethical what he's doing?
Right, because on one hand, he's fighting for freedom, a just cause.
But then he's also deceiving, manipulating, even resorting to violence. It really makes you think about the means versus the ends.
Can noble goals justify doing bad things? It's a tough question.
It is. And it's not just about strategy and manipulation. Kelsier's also training Vin, turning her into, well...
the weapon the rebellion needs.
Right. You highlighted that part where he takes Vin into the mist for the first time. That's a real turning point for her.
The mists, which terrify the Skaa. But he shows her they can be a source of power.
Like he's saying, don't let your fears control you, use them.
It's not just Allomancy training either.
No, he's teaching her strategy, making her question everything she's been told, finding her own strength.
Absolutely, and he even makes her face her past.
All the abuse, the betrayal she's suffered. He knows she can't truly be free from the Lord Ruler if she's still chained to her past.
It's a powerful message. You can overcome even the darkest experiences.
He's not just her teacher, he's like her guide on this journey of self-discovery.
And it reminds us, true strength comes from within. Facing those fears, embracing your potential. And then, on top of all that, there's Vin's relationship with Yeden.
Right, that adds a whole other level of complexity. You've got Vin, distrustful, hardened by life on the streets.
And Yeden, the idealist, wants to change the world from within the system. Do you think their love story is believable?
Given their backgrounds, I mean.
It's interesting. It works because Sanderson lets their relationship develop naturally. It's not just instant attraction.
Yeah, they challenge each other, they make each other face their own biases.
And ultimately, they want the same thing, a better world.
And their romance adds something else to the story.
Yeah.
Shows that even in a world divided like this, love can still find a way. But it's not all smooth sailing for them, is it? There's that part where Vin's part in the rebellion puts Yeden in danger.
Oh, absolutely. It shows the risks, the sacrifices that come with fighting for what you believe in.
Love and loyalty get tested, and sometimes the people you care about most get caught in the middle.
And as the rebellion gains momentum, those Allomancy mysteries just get deeper.
Right, like the 11th metal. Sanderson's making it pretty clear it's going to be crucial. What do you think about it?
Well, we see Vin struggling with it, experiencing these strange effects. It's powerful, maybe dangerous, but we don't know what it really is.
A big unknown. Maybe it'll empower them, maybe it'll destroy them. We just don't know.
It's like a wild card, could go either way. And then there's the Lord Ruler's logbook.
Those glimpses into his past.
You marked those sections that hint his motives might be more complex than we initially thought.
Right. He keeps talking about protecting the world from this deepness, but he doesn't explain it. Makes you wonder, is he really a villain?
Maybe he made tough choices to protect humanity from something worse.
That's what makes him so interesting as a character. You're constantly trying to figure him out.
And those creatures from the mists, their connection to Allomancy, the deepness, it's unsettling.
Like Sanderson's giving you pieces of a puzzle, but not all of them. Keeps you guessing.
And that's what makes this story so exciting. You're not just watching the plot, you're trying to solve the mysteries alongside the characters.
It shows how good a storyteller Sanderson is. He doesn't just tell you everything. He lets you figure things out, draw your own conclusions.
Embrace the uncertainty. And that brings us to the climax. The rebellion's final clash with the Lord Ruler.
Things are about to get intense.
Okay, so we're back, and things in the final empire are about to boil over.
Yeah, Kelsier's plan is in motion. The rebellion's on the verge of full-blown war.
And Vin's facing her toughest challenge yet. One thing that hit me hard in these last chapters is how Sanderson shows Kelsier's flaws.
Oh yeah, totally. He's a brilliant strategist, a charismatic leader, but
But he's got this deep need for revenge.
it's like it consumes him. You can
Yeah.
see it in that confrontation with the Lord Ruler at Credit Shaw.
He loses control, lets his emotions take over, and it leads to his downfall. It makes you think even the most skilled people can be blinded by their own desires.
Absolutely. And their plans can fall apart no matter how well they're made.
His death, it's a punch to the gut, not just for Vin and the crew, but for the reader, too. You marked a passage where Vin, just overwhelmed with grief and rage, she vows to finish what he started. Powerful moment for her.
Definitely a turning point. She realizes the fight for freedom can't depend on one person.
No matter how skilled or inspiring they are.
She has to step up, find her own strength, her own way forward. It's real growth, real transformation.
And it goes beyond leadership, right? It's
Mhm.
about identity. You highlighted that scene where she confronts Chanel at the ball, throws off that Lady Valette mask, embraces her Skaa heritage.
Wow, yeah, that scene. It's like she's finally shedding all those expectations, all those constraints, defining herself on her own terms.
Exactly. And that newfound clarity, that confidence, it's crucial when she goes up against the Lord Ruler.
The attack on Luthadel, though, talk about intense. The city becomes a war zone.
You see that clash between the Skaa fighting with everything they've got.
And the Empire's forces, with their training and weapons,
It's like David and Goliath. And Sanderson doesn't shy away from the brutality of it all. The losses on both sides.
yeah, reminds you that even in a fight for freedom, there's a huge price to pay.
And in the middle of all that, Vin's infiltrating Credit Shaw, going after the Lord Ruler, using everything Kelsier taught her.
Her allomancy, her cunning, it's like she's defying the odds.
And that final showdown, it's brilliant how Sanderson flips everything we thought we knew.
Right. We think the Lord Ruler is untouchable, invincible.
But then Vin discovers his weakness. The metal bracelets, the source of his immortality. Such a great twist.
Shows that even the most powerful tyrants have vulnerabilities.
And it adds a layer of tragedy to the Lord Ruler, doesn't it? Carrying that burden, that secret for 1,000 years, trying to protect everyone from the deepness.
And his dying words? By killing me, you have doomed yourselves.
Hmm.
It leaves you with this chill. What was the deepness? Was he telling the truth?
It's a question that sticks with you.
Definitely. And after the Lord Ruler is gone, you see how hard it is to rebuild? Yeden becomes king, with all his ideals.
But he's got resistance from both sides, the nobility and the Skaa.
Shows that revolutions are messy. Even when the tyrant's gone, the fight for real freedom isn't over.
There's that part you marked where Vin reflects on the cost of their victory. She's lost so much, seen so much death. And you wonder, was it worth it?
Makes you really think. And her journey isn't finished. The Inquisitors are still out there. The deepness is still a mystery.
She has to figure out where she belongs in this new world. It's a fitting end to such a complex story. Sanderson gives you hope, but also uncertainty.
What happens next in the final empire? It's up to Vin and everyone else to decide what kind of world they want to create. The final empire. It's about rebellion, sacrifice, fighting for something better, challenging those in power, questioning how things are, striving for a better future.
And it reminds us that even when things seem darkest, hope can spark a fire of resistance.
Even when tyrants fall, the fight for justice and equality goes on. It takes vigilance, courage, a willingness to face those challenges.
Well, it's been an amazing journey exploring the final empire. Hopefully, this deep dive has given you new things to think about, new ideas to discuss.
Maybe even a new perspective on this world.
And remember, the best stories stay with us long after we've finished reading them.
The stories that make us think, question, challenge our own views.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep those questions coming, and keep the conversation going.